Iran of deep involvement in attacks on commercial ships.
The unexpected attack by Iran on Israel in the Red Sea has escalated tensions in the Middle East to a breaking point. Shockwaves have been transmitted throughout the region by this unexpected attack. Concerns regarding the stability of an already unstable area have also been raised by this. It is extremely important to comprehend the underlying causes of this war and the possible repercussions as the world deals with the aftermath of this incident. Being aware of the historical background of Iran's and Israel's relationship is crucial to understanding recent events. Iran and Israel have been adversaries in the region for a long time, with antagonism stemming from the 1979 Iranian Revolution, when the Islamic Republic of Iran was founded. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's new Iranian government took a harsh posture against Israel, declaring it to be the little Satan and demanding its annihilation. This animosity has taken many forms throughout the years, including financial backing for Palestinian organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah. Both of these groups have engaged in armed conflict with Israel. In addition to being expressed politically, Iran and Israel's enduring enmity has been expressed through covert operations and proxy conflicts throughout the Middle East. Tensions between Iran and Israel have escalated as a result of a number of events, including the most recent attack in the Red Sea. Israel's outspoken criticism of Iran's nuclear program was one of the main causes of this escalation. Israel and the US have opposed Iran's nuclear ambitions outspokenly, claiming that Tehran is pursuing nuclear weapons under the pretense of developing nuclear energy for civilian purposes. Relations between the two countries have become even more strained as a result of Israel's fears over Iran's nuclear program, which have led to clandestine activities, including cyber attacks and the killing of Iranian nuclear scientists. Iran, meanwhile, has threatened to retaliate since it sees these moves as acts of aggression. Tensions with Israel have increased as a result of Iran's support for several militia groups in Yemen, Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq, which has allowed it to gain more power in the area. Feeling surrounded by Iranian proxies, Israel has responded to this development with airstrikes in Syria that target Iranian assets and Hezbollah supply routes. The strike in the Red Sea occurred in a strategically crucial maritime region, raising concerns about the operation's scope and the reason for choosing this particular location. A large amount of the world's oil supply goes via the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a short canal that connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden, where the incident took place. This choke point is a key location for geopolitical maneuvering because of its enormous significance to international trade and energy security. According to preliminary reports, a coordinated attack on Israeli ships in the Red Sea was carried out by a flotilla of Iranian Navy warships, comprising warships and missile boats. The Iranian ships are said to have launched a flurry of missiles and engaged Israeli forces in naval action. Since the situation is quickly changing, it is still too early to determine the entire amount of the damage and casualties. Israel hasn't held back in retaliating strongly in the wake of the assault. In his speech, Israeli Prime Minister Avali vowed to uphold Israeli interests and hold Iran responsible for its deeds. In order to resolve the situation, Israel has also requested that the UN Security Council meet urgently. The attack has sparked worry within the world community. The United States, a steadfast supporter of Israel, denounced Iran's actions and promised to stand by Israel's right to self-defense. Other countries have called for moderation and a diplomatic solution to the problem, notably China and Russia, two powerful European states. In a statement, the UN Secretary-General urged Iran and Israel to use all available patience and to pursue diplomatic measures to defuse the situation. There is supposedly a mediation initiative supported by the UN in place to help the two parties have negotiations. There is supposedly a mediation in recognizing the influence of important regional stakeholders in determining the outcome is crucial. Being a major player in the region, Saudi Arabia has the ability to have a big impact on both Iran and Israel. The monarchy should be urged to use its diplomatic channels to negotiate and ease tensions, as it has demonstrated its commitment to Middle East stability. Likewise, the United Arab Emirates and Egypt can participate beneficial roles in distributing the crisis, given their diplomatic and financial influence. With its strong connection with Israel and its recent diplomatic efforts towards Iran, the United States plays a crucial role in promoting negotiations. Although the Biden administration's pledge to rejoin the JCPOA is a start in the right direction towards settling the nuclear issue, it should also use its diplomatic channels to broker a settlement between the two rivals in the Red Sea crisis. It is imperative to understand how relations between modern-day Iran and Israel began. Iran and Israel enjoyed cordial relations under the Pahlavi dynasty, which governed from 1925 until it was destroyed in the 1979 revolution. In actuality, Iran was the second nation with a majority of Muslims to acknowledge Israel following its establishment in 1948. One of the 11 members of the Special United Nations Committee that was established in 1947 to find a solution for Palestine following the end of British rule over the region was Iran. There were 3 votes against the UN's plan for partitioning Palestine, with the main objection being that it would increase conflict in the area for future generations. According to historian Erik Kvindesland of the University of Oxford, Iran, along with India and Yugoslavia, came up with an alternative plan, a federative solution which was about keeping Palestine as one state with one parliament, but divided into Arab and Jewish cantons, Al Jazeera. Iran made that concession in an effort to preserve good ties with the Zionist movement, the pro-Zionist West, and its Arab and Muslim neighbors. But 2 years after the First Arab-Israeli War broke out in 1948, and Israel succeeded in capturing more territory than the UN had sanctioned, Iran, then led by the second Pahlavi king, the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, became the second Muslim-majority country after Turkey to formally recognize Israel. Zionist forces ethnically removed more than 700,000 Palestinians from their homes before to Israel's founding in 1948. The Palestinians refer to their forcible uprooting and confiscation as the Nakba, which is Arabic for catastrophe. According to Kvindesland, Tehran's action was primarily taken to oversee Iranian assets in Palestine, where the Israeli army had seized the residences of over 2,000 Iranian residents during the conflict. However, it also took place within the framework of Israel's periphery doctrine. Israel's Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion cultivated contacts with non-Arab states along the edges of the Middle East, in what would later become known as the peripheral doctrine, to end its isolation in the region. Ethiopia was also included in this, although Kvindesland claimed that Iran and Turkey were the ways that worked the best. After Mohammad Mossadegh was elected Prime Minister of Iran in 1951, he led the nation's oil industry, which was monopolized by Britain, to be nationalized. This was when things began to shift. Because he believed Israel was advancing Western interests in the area, Mossadegh broke off relations with Israel. Kvindesland claimed that the dominant narrative in Iran at the time was Mossadegh's and his National Front political organization's attempts to nationalize oil, drive out British colonial power, and undermine the monarchy. He claims that its connections to Israel were collateral damage. There was some Iranian anti-Zionist mobilization. Nawab Safavi, a prominent Shia cleric, was one of the most well-known figures who actively opposed Zionism and the creation of Israel. However, Kvindesland told Al Jazeera that Mossadegh's primary goal was to win over neighboring Arab states to oppose British domination over the oil sector. Zionism is a political movement that began in the late 1800s and advocated for the establishment of a homeland for Jews who were subjected to persecution in Europe. When Mossadegh's government was deposed in a coup orchestrated by the US and UK intelligence services in 1953, the situation drastically changed. The Shah was restored by the coup and went on to become a devoted supporter of the West in the area. In the 1970s, Israel exchanged ambassadors with Tehran after setting up a de facto embassy there. As their trade increased, Iran quickly emerged as one of Israel's main oil suppliers, and the two countries built a pipeline to transport Iranian oil from Iran to Israel and subsequently Europe. While there was substantial military and security collaboration between Tehran and Tel Aviv as well, it was mostly kept under wraps to avoid upsetting the surrounding Arab countries. More than Iran needed Israel, Israel needed Iran. Israel has always taken the initiative, but the Shah also desired to strengthen Iran's ties with the US, and at the time, Israel was thought to be a good means of achieving that goal, according to Kvindesland. Additionally, the possibility of expanding the security apparatus existed, and Mossad provided some training to the Iranian Security and Intelligence Agency, SAVAK. Although Iran could obtain these items elsewhere, Israel was eager to supply them since it required a Middle East ally that wasn't primarily anti-Israel and anti-Zionist. The historian claimed that the Shah showed little concern for the Palestinians in his dealings with Israel, and that his primary motivations were the need for allies, security, and trade. Thank you for watching till the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure the notification bell is turned on so you never miss a video. See you in the next one.